Well, let's get more on this now. We can speak to former Premier League referee Mike Dean. And Mike, good afternoon to you. First of all, then, what did you make of the video?
Afternoon, Joe. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised at the video. I think most people are. I just think it's one of them where you just heard what Dermot said. Then it doesn't look as if he's in his. It looks as if he's been drinking. It looks as if he has had some alcohol down him, and obviously somebody's gone and videoed it for him. But as referees, you can't put yourself in that position. Doesn't matter what you do. You can say things away from camera. You can talk amongst your friends and things and colleagues. But I mean, you can't let somebody video this and then hope that it's never going to come out.
And I'm presuming you would have met David Coote as a former referee. If this video is verified, is it out of character?
Yeah, I mean, Dave's one of the quieter referees of the group, to be fair. When I was on, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I texted him yesterday. Obviously, he's still a colleague in a way, as you know, just to see how he was. And that's all I did. And he just replied to me with a message, which I wouldn't disclose to anybody. But, it'd be devastated today. I think, like most of the referees will be devastated that somebody's actually gone and done this video. Obviously, Dave's in the video, but to go and release it, if it is verified 3 or 4 years after it's supposedly been done, then I'm very surprised at that as well.
Yes, I mean, you've said that he will be devastated by it. You've obviously reached out to him. Is there support there for him?
Yeah, I think the majority of the referees would have contacted him. I'd be astounded if they never. Referees, assistant referees, coaches, obviously his managers would have gone in contact with him. So I think it's just one of them things that it's never really happened before. As Dermot said before, I don't know what the process will be. I've got a rough idea what it might entail, but I think it's just one of them things that it's just completely out of the blue. You don't expect this kind of thing to happen. Yes, you may say one or two things away from camera or in general chat with your friends and colleagues, but you certainly don't put something like this on video and hoping it's never going to come out. And you can tell by the words on the video that the end of the video where he says, this video can't come out. It's as if you kind of know you've made a mistake and you should have done it in the first place. And, you just pray that it doesn't come out. And obviously, unfortunately for David, it has come out 3 or 4 years later if it's verified.
And everyone using this word integrity, do you think this has damaged Coote's career beyond repair, in your view?
I don't think it's damaged his career beyond repair. I'd like to think that, because it's one of these things that's never happened before, that I don't know what line the PGMOL will go down. I think that they obviously need to get the correct investigation in place, where the source of the video came from, get David's full story about what's going on, how long ago it was, what was said, where he was when he actually done the video. I'd like to think that they can come to some kind of agreement, and it also depends as well with what's gone on with David. With all this media attention, would David still want to carry on refereeing? That's a bigger picture you've got to think of, because it doesn't affect just David, it affects his friends and his family as well. So does he want to put himself through it yet again to come back in? And obviously it will be hard to come back and start refereeing his career again, whether it's in, championship to start with or football, and then get back into the Premier League. But it will be a hard step for him to come back.
And Mike, if this video is verified, overall, how damaging do you think it is for the refereeing fraternity as a whole?
I mean, it's damaging for everybody involved. When I seen it yesterday, I couldn't believe when someone sent me the message and to have a look at this, and you tap on and see what's going on. You kind of look at it 2 or 3 times before you realise, crikey, who it is and what's going on and what's been said. And I think from all the way from the top down to the bottom, I'm talking right down to the bottom. It'll devastate referees from grassroots all the way to the Football League. People are trying to get onto that level, and you just got to be so careful what you say, Joe. And it's so out of character for David to do this. I was astounded when I seen it.
Because, I mean, things like this, there is this belief among some fans that certain referees perhaps have an agenda against their club. This will have just added fuel to the fire of those fans that do believe that.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the case. There's always been clubs think that and fans of referees have got an agenda against them, but that's not going to change anyway. Whether this is case proven or not proven, they're still going to have the same kind of views. So it hasn't helped. It's not ideal situation for a referee to get into, to this kind of story to come out, but it certainly hasn't helped the situation. And fans will always think the same anyway. They always have done, even in my day and before me.
I mean, how hard is it, Mike? Because if there is some ill feeling between an official and a manager or a club, can a referee fairly officiate a game? What is that like to get that balance?
I think, you know, if something does happen and clubs obviously don't like what the referee's done and they've had a fallout and set the manager off, etc., or sent a few players off, then sometimes what used to happen, you used to probably not do the club for 6 or 7 weeks maybe, and then come back in and get back in and get involved with them again. But I think you just got to carry on. I mean, clubs can't pick and choose who they want a referee, and the referee should be able, you know, should be appointed to whichever game, you know, the referee thinks is the best referee to do that game.
And Mike, we know that referees are quite often criticised. They suffer a lot of abuse. They don't have a platform to talk out like managers do, for example. How did you cope when you were a referee?
Again, I think I said before, friends and family are obviously the biggest help. Some really good close friends. I know I still speak to Chris Foy, who's one of the best mates in football now, and I speak to Chris 2 or 3 times a week at least, talk about refereeing matters in general. But it's mostly your friends and family. Referees have got the coaches to get involved. They have got other kinds of other platforms as well to get involved in. The managers, I said the coaches. Even higher than that, we have it. You know, every kind of tool they need to get involved with. You know, they've got all kinds of sports scientists, psychologists involved. So there's a massive platform for them to go and talk to away from the cameras. Obviously, we don't go on the cameras, or they don't go on the cameras, I should say, and speak about it. Managers and players can come on and they can vent their fear and their disbelief, and they can get some help. But I think we've just got to be careful of which way we're going to go down the line with this one.
And there is such a spotlight on referees anyway. Is it disappointing when something like this happens in terms of that spotlight getting even bigger?
Yeah, I mean, the referees have come in for a lot of criticism this season, and you know, some is rightly so in some cases, but it is just it's getting a lot harder now for the referees, and you know, they don't want to be in the spotlight all the time. They're trying not to, and obviously, you know, you want to do a game on a Saturday, you want to get home, you want to put your feet up, relax, do your recovery, and then get your next opponent and focus on that one. And obviously, with having an international break this week, it's kind of probably helped the group in general, I would have thought, to you know, trying to get together and have a talk about between themselves, which I'm sure they'll do over the next 14 days. But it's just such a shame, and you know, I feel so sorry for David as a friend and a colleague as well.